Welcome to Understanding the Hatha Yoga, Pradipika, the text on Hatha Yoga. So I think we have made a long journey understanding that Hatha Yoga is not a set of physical practices or merely what we say stretching and sweating. It is much more than that. And the literal meaning of the Hatha, do you remember? It is balancing, bringing that harmony. In modern language, we say that we bring the harmony of the right hemisphere of the brain with the left hemisphere. And the yoga literally means, really, in essence, it means meditation. Yoga, samadhi. So, balancing, and that leads to samadhi. Balancing that leads to mindfulness. Balancing that leads to awakening. That has been the hallmark of this Hatha Yoga process. So last week we understood when your mind declares that I am a machine. And the same thing the doctor also sees you. Once anyone becomes a doctor, he looks at you or she looks at you as if you are a patient. That is there, it becomes so much conditioned. Their mind is conditioned, and they have to study for 10 years, almost 8 to 9 to 10 years, 6, 7 years of degree, another intern, and then residency. And after 10 years, the moment they look at you, okay, one more guy has come. I mean to say that they see people like a machine. Physiological, biochemical, neurophysiological changes, okay, pills, surgery. The second perception is that I'm a social animal. It is still an objective reality. Social animal, we have to live in a hut. Sometimes you want to live alone, you want to be into peace, into calmness. I was spending another half an hour and I was enjoying myself. Nobody, I was enjoying. I'm not the body. And very light. But the anthropologists, and especially the sociologists, they press, you are a social animal. You have to be with the people. You have to be in a heart. Huh? You have to be in a relationship. So that's where the person comes. Are you married or a single? Living alone. Oh, that's a tough, very tough. Living together is tougher. So, you see, social animal. So that's what, and in that being a social animal, you live, move, and act with some social instincts. They are set standard. Set standard. Yeah. As I'm a stranger, I moved near your house, and I still we don't talk. And I come out with some lady. No, okay, you take okay. Living in a social animal, living with the people, Yeah, we can understand. And so that is how the social animal. So as we raise our awareness and we try to understand, then we come to a point that we are a human being. So when we say human being, right term, right word, I have yet to find out whether it's a French or Italian word, sapiens, Homo sapiens. I don't know, sapiens is in a French word, I don't know. So, but sapiens literally means wise. We are different than the social animal because we are wise, we are self-aware. So here begins the journey of yoga and meditation. So if you are not Homo sapiens, forget about doing any kind of yoga. Yes, even though we claim that, okay, let us train dog in yoga, and then we have seen the differences. Science can find out anything. That becomes a pseudoscience. Sometimes you see that, science, I'm looking at you and somebody says, oh, there is a science in it. So in one way there is, but still this is too much. You're stretching too far. Yeah.
So what would you say about because you do see more particularly dogs becoming more conscious and aware of when people die, so even emotionally, so sadness, when they're part they just have more awareness than most animals do. You think they can become more conscious and evolve?
Yeah, conscious, they become more conscious, but it's a big deal. I cannot claim and I cannot really say anything whether they have some sense of self-awareness. To have a higher consciousness. The plants have a rudimentary consciousness. And as compared to animals, they have a lower consciousness. So we can say that there are different degrees of consciousness. But whether they are self-aware beings or not, it is a big question. It's a big question. You can train the computer to behave in a particular way. Doesn't mean that they are conscious. Same thing, you can train your dogs, you can train your pets. Well, if you consider the other half as a machine, then you can train them also. They also behave in the same way. That's where the struggle begins. So Homo sapiens, the wise. So there begins in subjectivity. And when it begins the subjectivity, then begins the yoga. So, okay, then what happens? Then I read some scriptures, then I read some text, then I go on Google and I find out that these crazy yogis they walk on the water, they have many powers, they can swallow different snakes. So, sometimes it mesmerizes me, it surprises. So the real journey of the yoga begins that you want to understand what is, who am I? That is the first question. Second, what is this universe? Third is there anything beyond me in the universe? Is there a way to find out? Can I find out? So when I have lot of pain, problem, suffering, and if I know who am I will also know how to get rid of it. How to establish a good relationship between the universe and myself. So at present, there are hundreds of things that are unknown. Or we can say that, you eat this kind of a food and that is going to help you. It's a general statement that doesn't apply to everyone in this world. It's a relative. It also has influences of your season, of your climate, lot of many things. It's a relative. So when we pose these questions, who am I? What is this universe? And is there anything beyond it? And what is the way? So that way, that method, that process, that tool becomes yoga in general. So then we become a student on the path of yoga. So I think I explained last time. Did I explain to you? When you are a student in a school, what happens? The teacher forces you to study what you have to study. A curriculum, here is an assignment, here is a lesson plan. Come up with an answer. And you go and say, teacher, I like this topic and I want to spend a couple of weeks on studying deeply this topic. What the teacher will say? No, you'll fail. You have to study what I'm saying. Yeah? We have two teachers here. Ask Michelle. Uh, Maybe with all softness, you tell your students, please, here is home assignment, you have to do this. So virtually you force. The same thing also happens in the university and a college system. That's a kind of. So there are two things. First, you become a student. It's okay. But after that, yoga says you have to become a disciple. Shishya, disciple. Who is disciple? Disciple means that you are self-inspired to learn. You want to know the answer of who am I? You want to know. You want to know the meditation. Can I absorb myself into that deeper state of meditation? You're self-inspired. So one is self-inspired, where you want to earn knowledge and wisdom. And being a student, you're first. Come on, you have to do this. Do this, do that. You have to. We will give you a certificate and a degree of bachelor's and a master's and a PhD. Here you don't need a degree. You earn something deeper within. You are a disciple. So in that disciplehood, when you continue the journey, you start learning from your experiences. You also learn. What do you learn? You learn that, okay, if I do these practices, I can relax myself, I can bring the harmony, I can bring the happiness in my life. So then you start, you want to know little more than that. Huh? At the first level, being a disciple, you have now from the disciplehood, you make a transition, you become a sadhaka. The word, the Sanskrit term sadhaka is applied everywhere. Sadhaka, Sadhak. Sadhaka means now you are a traveler on the path. 100% sure that you are not going to leave. Yeah? You're not going to divorce. That is a permanent marriage. Sadhaka means that now you cannot live without it. You're tired, committed, you resolve. So when you are committed and resolved, there are a couple of qualifications that we will talk later. There are 8 points of qualifications. Uh, the first four you can just write down and contemplate. The first one is understanding the principles of awakening and realization and transformation, or you simply can say understanding the principles of yoga. The second one, enthusiasm, intense aspiration. You are always fired up, so you can fire the brain all the time. You're always, inspired to treat that path anywhere and everywhere. That is second. The third is the live teacher, and the fourth is the time. That is one set of four principles that you always know that, okay, I have 5 minutes, let me calm down. I have 10 minutes, let me do this thing. So you live, move, and act into that state. Your mind is now more and more aware of it. Another thing, another set of four is the shanti, it says peace. You don't want to lose your peace at any time now. No way. You don't want to lose. You can fight by becoming, bringing a fake anger in your life. That is possible. Uh, and you two are teachers. It's always good to learn how to have a fake anger because you need to control a lot of students. It's always easy. It will help you in your future life also. Once you're Once you are married, it will help you. so, so that is the piece. The second is known as the satsanga. Satsanga means the company with someone who knows. That is why I always repeat, I spent my life almost for 26 years with my master. The mind returns again to the same conditioning. You forget it. So the teacher brings the same subject, the same topic again and again in a different way based on your temperament, based on your level of intelligence, your receptivity. So that is the second is known as satsanga, the company, peace company. And the third is the contentment. You already know the power of contentment. Yeah, contentment. So contentment, internally, you are the richest person. Why? Your mind doesn't expect anything from outside. It knows how to create that space in you where you can drop all the expectations from the external universe. That is the sense of contentment. Huh? It doesn't mean that you don't have a food to eat. Oh, have a contentment. That is not contentment. And the fourth part is the self-inquiry. You are always on the go. You want to inquire, you want to contemplate, you want to question yourself. So you question yourself when you are in a position, when you're living your life. You wake up a little late in the evening and then you are aware, oh, this thing happened, that's why you wake up late. You wake up early, so you are aware, self-inquiry. With that attitude, when you go, then this meditation, relaxation becomes a play. So last week, we have understood some of the practices of meditation in relationship to the body and the breath and the mantra. So let us start studying today. Mind is the master of senses. I think we have done this, isn't it? The breath in its turn is necessary. Okay, this is we have done.
39.
38, yeah. Let us do, yeah, 38. 39, yes, you're right, 39. So 30, 40 we have done. I have explained you. You know, in the 40th, we have a beautiful verse that is used in Hindi language. Koi latdhari, koi matdhari, koi daso indriyan ghismari. Kahe kabir suno bhai sadhu, sabki mat hai nyari nari. So literal meaning is of this. There was a great master known as Kabir. Kabir, who lived during, I think, 14th and the 15th century. He was a great master, and he was a weaver. He used to live on the bank of a river, and he used to weave the clothes, and in the evening, whatever the money he used to earn, he used to celebrate it with thousands of people. So you can say he is a Rumi of India. You can have the poetry of Kabir. So he says that, sometime you have seen those people of yogis, who claim that they absorbed into meditation, they shave their head. Others grow their beard. Huh? And not small like Rodney, very long beard, which I had a couple of years back, couple of years. The others, start living naked, claiming that, they can go into a deeper meditation. Huh? And still others, should I tell you? Yes, this is too much. I've seen those craziness, and so sometime those crazy guys in different monasteries. There are a couple of monasteries. They put a long nail, steel, thick nail in their penis to claim that you see that they have achieved a total control over the sex. Piercing, yes, piercing. Yeah. But that piercing is that they pierce in between the penis or they cover the vagina, especially with the women. So that is what this Kabir was going to so only, I guess, man. These are all the crazy things. That has nothing to do with meditation. So I don't know when I came here in 2008, one person came, oh, you have spent in Himalayas. I said, okay, I spent some time in Himalayas. Oh no, I just want you to know, can you fly? I said, I have flown from India to here. And then I realized what he's seeking. Oh, can you walk on the water? I have heard, I have read it. I have many books. And I said, I don't have those books, which tells you to fly in the water and walk on water. That is a big, even there's a lot of misconception. So this is what the 48th verse is. Some are devoted to Vedas, some are enigmas. So don't go into those things. Let us take the 41st. I think I have covered that. So whether you see that, whether you focus here inside your forehead, you focus inside your heart. You are not actually focusing on any neuron, it's supposed to say inside the forehead. You're not focusing on your physical heart. It is a functional entity. The moment you focus inside your heart, it has more to do with your emotion. It has more to do with your wisdom, knowledge, when you're focusing there. You're not focusing, first you go to the doctor and ask them, which neurons are responsible for a certain function, raising my wisdom. And then you focus it. It's a functional entity. Make it, try to understand. If you don't understand that part, then you also, it may lead you to misconception. So that is what the 41st verse is. You can focus anywhere and you can get the result. One should not meditate on linga and the day. I have covered that. When the air has ceased to move in the right and the left, what is khechari? And the left nostril, and has begun to flow in the middle part, then the khechari can be accomplished there. There is no doubt, no doubt about this. Understand the khechari. Khechari means space, flying in the space. I remember a wonderful principle based on this khechari. So let me cover. This comes from a different text. One is material space. You see that? Material space. I can see the space inside this room, and then the space outside this room, and the space contains in my room, my home, outside it. It's a material space. It's a material space. The second space, are you feeling bored? Are you feeling bored? Yeah. No, I'm just saying. No, but that is also another question. So feeling of boredom is inside. And that too inside your mind, not inside your physical space. Come on. Thoughts, feeling, Motion, sensations. That is the second space. That is what I was. You see, that is the second space. You understand what I'm saying? That's totally a different space. I'm stressed. Okay, let me know from where you are stressed. Let me open up your brain. Find out where is the stress. Oh, do you love me? So nice of you. Let me open your head and heart and find out from where the love is coming. Forget about it. You cannot find out. It's a mental space. It's different. Yeah. So in that mental space, you have all the dualities, conflicts, problems, sorrow, suffering, huh? Beloved, hatred. Huh? You have your honey, huh? Boyfriend, girlfriend, everything is there. So that is the mental space. I think you understand. And the third space, where there is only space, there is nothing. Objectless state. That objectless state is meditation. The space, it is not divided, it is one whole. So now you can conceive an idea. Material space is the lowest. You have a mental space. Huh? Where you love someone, okay, you don't hate others, but one thing is sure that you don't love everyone. You love only one. So you have already created a duality. Huh? Yeah. But at the higher level, there is an objectless state. What is that objectless state? There is nothing. Mind is not there. It is only one. You are in meditation. Why? Because there is no object present in the mind. You understand? What is your question, my friend?
The only way to get to the objective space, though, is to go through the mental space, right?
Chance is there, that is one. You can directly jump. There are hundreds of practices. One of them is the mindfulness, where people do not understand. People say, oh, mindfulness, this is effortless practice. Come on, do it, it will happen. But basically, it is a jumping from the physical space to a mental space and directly moving into that space, which is a big challenge. Or you can move into that object listed. There are hundreds of practices, hundreds. Yeah.
You can never go from the physical space right to
Yes, you. Yeah,
space, right?
yeah. From the physical, you can move to the mental, and you can categorize the mental that you are using a mantra, you are using an emotion, you are fixing your mind at some of these centers. That defines you different practices of meditation. But one thing is sure, once you start meditating and meditation starts happening in your life, you are totally carefree. You don't worry how long you have to live. You don't care. You don't. You're totally careless where normally people care and they have a lot of stress. You don't totally care. Oh, let it happen, whatever is done. So that is a big thing. Mastaram masti mein aag lagi basti mein. My master used to say, live, move and act in your life with a total intoxication with the inner state. Intoxicated with your inner state, inner poise. You're intoxicated with that inner poise and the peace. Let anything happen in this world. You remain in that state because that liquor is always available. It is not temporary, it is permanent. Liquor not in the wine store. I'm talking about the liquor of meditation. Don't take it other way. So you are intoxicated. So that is, we will come. So the one should not meditate. Now the 42nd, having said that, what happens? The physical practice, you have asked me the right question, Michelle. So we can start with the physical space. What physical space? Breathe in, breathe out, right, left, or hard, long breath. It is all about the physical practices. Then mental practices. You do nothing with the nostril, you focus on the breath. And now you focus on the right nostril. You see it's a functional entity. So after some time, what happens? You will observe and experience as if your air is flowing more through the right nostril without touching. So now you have transcended the physical space. You moved into the mental space. And from that mental space, you alternate. Right focus, right flow. Left focus, left flow. Again, now in the middle. So middle is again not here, it's not a physical space. Middle, middle path. So you just create that perception of the middle. What happens? You absorb into meditation. So this verse is talking about that. So you can create one meditation practice for yourself. You lie down, you sit, and then you start first clear your nose, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then every day for 10 or 15 minutes, you pay attention to the right nostril. Focus there, total focus. After a couple of weeks, you will see that your right flow becomes more active without touching. You need not to clear. That is what it's saying. When the air has ceased to move in the right and the left nostril, air has moved to cease. It's a negative expression of a positive meaning. That if both the right and the left flow have stopped, one flow has to be active. What is that third flow? Is the middle flow. Kechari Mudra can be accomplished. The Kechari Mudra leads to the objectless space, third space. That is how I explained you. Understood that?
So you have both nostrils?
Huh? Yes, you're breathing equally through both the nostrils. That is the middle path. 46. It can be closed from the front, and then surely it becomes the Khechari. Mudra by practice, this mudra leads to unmani. It is the same thing now, but one thing that you need to understand the word unmani in the 46th verse, 47th verse. So, unmani, unmani. Unmani means no mind. Simple understanding, no mind, where there is no duality. It's a no mind state. It is an objectless state. So there are many. Unmani is also the name of one practice of meditation where the mind is not. Understood? Go further. The seat of the Shiva is between the eyebrows and the mind becomes absorbed there. This is known as a turiya and the death has no access there. How many of you want to go beyond the death? Marina, you're so young and still you are scared of the death? Yes. Yeah. And then so, she was the first who raised her hand. So Turiya, the word Turiya, I think I did talk about it. Now you can understand the same, those, typical words are repeated again in all these 3,000 texts in a different ways. Did I talk that there are 4 states of the consciousness? I think I talked in one of the meditation classes, not exactly. There is a waking state, there is a sleep state, yeah? There is a dream state, and the fourth state, the literal meaning of that fourth state in Sanskrit is known as Turiya state. Meditation is a fourth state. Meditation is a fourth state of the consciousness. In other words, you can also understand here is an ocean, couple of waves is the waking state, second group of waves, dream state, third group of waves, sleep state. The entire ocean is the fourth state. So it means when we reach to the meditative state, in that meditative state, the sleep happens. So now you're fully aware the body is sleeping, mind is sleeping, then you wake up. So you are still in a meditative state in the background. Outside, you know the mind has gone out. It has recognized I am the body. This is my home. This is my beloved. This is my school. This is my kid. This is my clothes. So that fair recognition, the mind moves outside. Again, in the evening, you fall into sleep, but now you are also aware inside that you know you are in a sleep state. And now you know you are in a dream state. Ocean. Ocean, one, that is the fourth state. Huh? Couple of waves is the dream state. Another set of waves is the sleep state. Another set of waves is the dream state. So that is what is explained about this Turiya state. Again, a functional entity, Shiva. Shiva is between the eyebrows, the seat of the Shiva, who is the originator of yoga. Did I explain to you that literally means what? Literal meaning of the Shiva is okay. I think it's better in the next week. We will set, put everything, all your lessons into your email or send it to the front desk. Those who have not sent me all the lessons, we will revise all the lesson and we will mark ourselves. You are now in the mode of a disciple, so you have to give marks to yourself of all the lessons. So next Wednesday we will work on that. Yeah, I don't feel so much importance giving the mark. You give it. So we will do that. Seva means auspiciousness, the highest moment. When you live in auspiciousness all the time, means auspiciousness brings the peace, the calmness, and the wisdom and the truth. You live in that mode all the time. The Khechari should be practiced till there is a Samadhi. One who has induced Yoga Nidra cannot fall a victim to the truth. I was just talking Yoga Nidra, the psychic, you can say the yogic sleep. You are in meditation and you know the body is sleeping, but you are not. You're not, you're awake. So then I was just talking. So that happens in a deeper meditation and especially in Khechari Mudra. Freeing the mind from all thoughts and thinking of nothing, one should sit firmly like a pot in the space. Can you make out? I just explained to you the material space, the mental space, and the objectless space. Just conceive. You do nothing. Material space is outside. It is the mind that is perceiving the material space. I mean, there you are sitting, here you're sitting, here's your home, my home. It is a big skyscraper of a rich guy. So material space. I love it. You don't forget it. And then you have a mental space. Mental space, peace, anxiety, duality, conflict, boredom, or mental space. And then there is a space deeper inside. Can you really see that material space is too far? Mental space appears too far, even it is closer than the material space. And the time comes, you are into the objectless space. You feel, oh, even these mental dualities are too far from you. Not interested. Not interested. So it means what you have to do to move into meditation? Nothing. It is not a practice. It is an effortless state. But because we start doing something with the body, so the mind perceives that step in the material space, so it says, no, we have to do something. So the perception of that doership returns, and then it takes a long time. So this verse is explaining, can you see one should sit firmly like a pot in the space? Bring the pot, bring a glass here and put it here. And then you watch. Reference with the studio, reference with the infinite material space, and the space inside the pot, the space outside the pot. Now you are a pot. The space is inside and space is outside. Nothing remains. You are reduced to effortlessness, natural. Why should I be empty? I have lot of things to do in my life. I have to marry, I have to have kids, and I have to earn a lot of money. Then I'll have live in stress. That's another perception of life. You can still do the same thing living in this state. That is the key. Sometimes I know that you start looking at me, I just go opposite. So 50th, as the air in and out of the body remains unmoved, so the breath with the mind becomes steady in its place. What a beautiful state of meditation. Can you explain to me? You have understood it up. As the air in and out of the body remains unmoved, but the air is moving. Why it is unmoved? Yes, you are aware of the breath. So the breath with the mind becomes steady in its place. Both are functional entity. Both becomes one. When you cannot differentiate between which one is the breath and which one is the mind, you are into that state. That is the real meaning of breath awareness. Huh? That is the real meaning of breath awareness. I'll make you free within another 15, 20 minutes. You're feeling bored, lazy. Lazy mind is unhappy mind. Did you not understand that? Start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Now I'll leave you after half an hour. I know you have been working hard, very hard working. No, I could see that. But then, yeah. so, so by thus practicing night and the day, the breathing is brought under control, and as such the practice increases, the mind becomes calm and steady. You're doing nothing. So when you walk from here to your car, become aware of the breath. Don't become aware of your laziness. No. That is what we have studied in our first lesson. You see? Yeah.
We were talking about last Wednesday about lying, being aware of the heart or the nose. So is the breath more subtle than the heart, or is the heart higher than the breath?
You're asking me a question?
Yeah. Because you talk about being aware of the heart or the nose, or is being aware of the breath. The breath is like
Anyone can do, anyone, because both are functional entity. So sometime because you have lot of impressions of emotions, so there in the beginning, maybe if you are focusing inside the heart may help you. But if you are purely a mechanical, you know the breath is going in and out, the simple breath awareness will also do the same thing. Do the same thing. So sometimes it depends on the temperament. Otherwise, uh, yes, reading and studying meditation when we are lazy, we cannot understand. So another 15 minutes, I'll leave it. So by rubbing the body over with the amrita from head to the foot, I told you. So when you do a lot of breathing practices and you start sweating, you have to rub it. We have discussed that. How the highest state of meditation is achieved. We will do that. And then, no, it's a lot. Placing the mind into the kundalini and getting the later into the mind by looking upon the buddhi with the mind, the parampada should be obtained. The mind can move the energy. The let mind first move inward, awaken to the energy, then remain focused on it. When intellect takes over the mind and the mind merges, it leads to a meditative state. Did you understand anything?
So Kundalini we talked about.
Yeah. Kundalini. First thing, Kundalini is a functional entity. Now what we do, I think today also in the same meditation class I covered that. It is basically a functional entity. So what we say, placing the mind into Kundalini, the origin of this potential energy is at the base of the spine. It is a functional entity. When you keep your mind there, you start triggering that energy. That is the meaning that placing the mind into Kundalini, getting the later into the mind. So the more and more focus, your awareness and attention is there by different set of practices. Never ever start imagining that Kundalini is 3.5 times coil. We'll talk about it. It's not a physical entity. This light that we are uh, in the light that we are studying, is this light is 3.5 times coils or maybe more times coil? Can you make out? No. So there are some attributes related to 3.5 times coil that we will understand later. Attributes. Yeah? Attributes. Michelle is a teacher, but I want to know through my perception from where she looks as a teacher. She looks like a beautiful woman, that's all. I don't see her as a teacher. Same thing with the Rodney. So it is an attribute. Yeah? It is a secondary identification when we say 3.5 times coil. So that is why you see that mind can move, placing the mind into Kundalini. You drop the mind into Kundalini. You are in fear. You do nothing. You want to know what is this fear. Now you move the mind into that survival state of the consciousness. There is the body clinging is there. There is anger. There is a fear, and you are there. You do nothing. One thing is sure: you maintain your awareness, and the mind experiences those negative things. So first step is done. What is that? Mind is put into Kundalini. Now you know, because of this functional entity, I feel anger, I feel duality. Let the intellect come. Choose the intellect. Which one is good, better? So the moment you choose it, the energy starts rising up. You have a lot of money, you're driving to a liquor store, you park the car, you started moving to the liquor store. Am I in peace? Yes. Why am I going to the liquor store? To feel peace. But I'm already in peace. Let me go back. Sit in the car. Go back home. So it is all a play of awareness. How you play with that sense of awareness, which state you are in. This is what it is explaining. Look at this. Getting the later into the mind by looking upon the buddhi, the intellect, with the mind. Parampad. Parampad Brahma means the highest state of meditation can be attained. Moving to the next, keep the Atma inside, carve and place a Brahma inside your Atma, having made everything pervaded with a cloud thing of nothing else. Exactly that is what I explained you, the material space, the mental space, and the objectless space. Keep the Atma, keep the self inside Brahma. Brahma here means the space. Keep yourself in the space. Now it depends. What do you think you are? Are you the body? Okay, material space. Are you the mind? Mental space. Are you the self? Objectless space. You are in meditation. Look at it. But do you see the Hatha Yoga text is explaining these practices? How can you claim that Hatha Yoga is only stretching and sweating? How? So you are going to be the best teachers in the marketplace in America to guide people. Come on, sit down. Much more. Yoga is much more than stretching and the sweating. Huh? One should become void in and void out. What a beautiful expression. You see that sometimes you cannot find these expressions. So you can use these expressions while giving a class. There's another meaning of the meditation. So now it is explaining one should become void in, void out. Void like a pot in the space, full in and full outside, like a jar in the ocean. What a beautiful expression. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Are you feeling bored? Thank you. Normally people feel bored in my company. so, so you see that, I got one example. So that's what, it was going into my head. Ocean, waves, Katrina, tsunami. Katrina, tsunami, waves, all from the ocean. Yeah, all from the ocean. So I got this example when they said, jar in the ocean. Is wave different than the ocean? But when the wave rises, that wave feels that I'm different than the ocean. That is the problem. I feel I'm separate from others. That is the problem. You understand what I'm saying? That is it. That is explained here in this verse. Waves falls, it rises up, I'm born. Drops into the ocean, I'm gone. That I say, I live 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. Nothing. That is nothing in terms of the life of the earth and the ocean. Millions of years. So one wave rises and you recognize it, it is a Girish. It falls down the next moment. It falls down, it merges into the ocean. Next moment in time of the earth, that is billions of years. Yes, in times of the human life, Oh, he lived 70, 80, 90 years. There's no time. Timeless. Again, another waves rises. Have you understand how the meditation clarifies this existence, physical existence? So that is how it is explained. So pick up, underline this. You can use these metaphors to explain what meditation is. He should be neither of his inside. Now there is nothing outside. There is nothing inside. You know, there is nothing inside. There is nothing outside. I'm not the body. So how can I claim that the breath is going inside? Come on. When I'm not the body, I know. You see that? Huh? Then how can I say that, that I'm inside and outside? And leaving all the thoughts, should he think of nothing? Objectless space, objectless thinking. The whole of this world and all the schemes of the mind are but the creations of the thought. Wonderful. Now, the main principle comes. First is I am the God. First, so that my mind keeps that impression that I am the body and sitting here. Then I look at Rodney, and here is a Rodney. So what happens? Now I versus you. The word is created. Who created this? Thought. No, you will say, no, it is a thinker. Who is a thinker? Thinker is also a thought. So first thinker, I am. I am is a thought. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am here. It is a thought. Rodney is there. That is also a thought. So everything is a play of a thought. Can I get rid of the thought? Thoughtless state, meditative state. That is the whole of this world, and all the schemes of the mind are but with the creation of a thought. If my mind has never learned that there are 3 beautiful women here and 2 crazy men, if I have not given the label, how do I know from where the label came? From the mind. Mind coined a simple word. It has created a label. So everything is a play of a thought and a thinker. Can I become aware of this thinker? The moment you become aware of a thinker, you start playing with a thinker. Otherwise, the thinker plays with you. How? Someone says you're crazy and you become angry. We are crazy. We are always thinking unnecessarily. Yeah. So this is what discarding these thoughts and taking leave of all the conjectures, O Rama, obtain peace. Why you are concerned of this thinker and a thought, the duality? Hmm? Can you go about it? Can you become aware of this thinker and a thought? Here and now, you are in meditation. You are in mindfulness. So it means you are still working with this thinker and a thought. Now you're working as a matter of convenience. As you park the car outside, so you say, thinker, let me park you. Stop it. It's enough. The moment anxiety comes, that is also a thought. Tell the thinker, stop it. This is enough. Enough is enough. But we don't say enough is enough. Oh, come on. Anxious, feeling heaviness. Oh, here in the heart, in the head. And then it continues. It creates a lot of problems. Salutations to all. Today's Sushumna is the middle channel, Kundalini. To thee Sudha, born of Chandra, to thee there are different names. Different names of the same process. Whether you say Sushumna, Kundalini, Sudha. Sudha means nectar, born of Chandra. Huh? Oh, we are going into, 59. As the camphor disappears in the fire, the rocks salt in the water, so the mind united with the self loses its identity. You understand, this is what happens in meditation. Mind is nothing but a play of a thinker and the thoughts. So when the mind merges with the self, you reach to the objectless state. How? The way the salt merges into the water, becomes one. The way the camphor disappears in the fire. And then, we start arguing about this thought is good, this thought is bad. It has no existence. You move into that higher state. When the knower and the knowledge are both destroyed equally, then there is no second way. I think until 62, until 64, all are different metaphors explained by this text 64. So we will cover in the next week all this one, and we will self-evaluate all our lessons on Wednesday. If you have all those questions, doesn't you now at this stage, don't you think that there is nothing in yoga and there is everything in yoga? You see that?
Mind blown.
You see that, these great masters, first they make you very serious. Oh, do these postures, there are 8.4 million postures, there are 135 different breathing practices, 25 mudras, there are 135 different hand gestures. You have to retain the breath. Oh, 20 seconds of retention of breath is okay, but more than a minute, I don't want to die. So the fear comes, so the teacher explains you the fear. And as you really understand the essence of yoga, you go higher into the stages, it becomes a play. It becomes a fun. But play and a fun means that you live into that state. Your goal is to live into that state. And the beauty of the Hatha Yoga is that you learn the physical aspect of your material existence, you learn breathing practices, you learn mudras, you learn mantras, you learn a lot of different steps. Goal is knowing yourself, beyond the thinker, beyond the thoughts, in peace and happiness. Yeah? So we were born with a crying. At least it is our responsibility to start living in peace and happiness so that we can die in peace. That is our bigger responsibility. No other responsibility. Rest is taken care of. Rest is taken care of, my friend. When you are in peace, living in peace, wherever you are living, the life changes there. Isn't it? There is the life changes. Anything more? Michelle is opening Hatha Yoga for asking the questions. Yeah. No? No? No question? Done? So that is all for that is